Matt, I just put it to the manager. Do you think you need to win 3 out of 3 now to have any chance?
Yeah, I think ultimately we know what we need. Let's be realistic. We probably do need 3 out of 3. If not, we'll be relying on other teams to maybe do us a favour. But it's not something that worries us. We've put good runs together this season, and we have won 3 on the bounce. We've won 4 on the bounce, so we know we're capable of it. But yeah, realistically, we know what we need to do. So we'll give everything that we can to do that.
You're now chasing rather than being chased. Does that make a difference?
I don't think it does realistically. Maybe if you look at it, there's probably maybe a bit less pressure than maybe when you're in there. I think you've looked at maybe, I know Forest Green, the top of the table, but the kind of pressure that they had when they were flying high, and maybe look at us last year, the pressure that we had when we were flying high. It's a different type of pressure, which ultimately can lead to kind of different results. But look, we know we've been around here before. We've done these things before where we're chasing, or whether we've been in there and stayed in there. So we know what we need to do. And we'll be giving everything that we can to make sure we do that.
Yeah, if you remember, I'm sure you won't forget, Morecambe on the last day, that went down to the dying minutes, didn't it? Because you didn't score. Yeah. Jamil Matt didn't score until very late on. I mean, could it be like that this season, do you think, the way things are at the top of League Two?
Yeah, I think nobody had put anything past this league this year, I don't think. I think we always allude to how much of a different kind of league it is. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. So yeah, you can't really put anything out of the question. So we know what we need to do. We know what we'll set out to do, and obviously we'll give everything that we can to be in them playoffs.
Has the pressure told you, think, Matt? Is that the reason for the dodgy spell at the moment?
I don't think so. I don't think we haven't felt any pressure. I think as a group we've just been kind of trying to focus on what we can do. Look, it's football at the end of the day. You're going to win games, you're going to lose games. Just so happens that we've done it at this time, which is it's obviously devastating that we dropped out on the weekend, but we're not giving up on it. We've made that pretty clear. We had a good chat after the game on Friday, Monday. There was that many days. Against Sutton, we had a good chat after the game. And we know what we need to do. We've set targets within the dressing room, within the football club, and I think that's kind of what we need to keep in focus and make sure that we do everything we can do now to make sure we win football matches, because we want to be winning football matches irrespective of the time of the year. So we'll make sure we give everything we can to win the next kind of 3.
So tomorrow night, it's all about doing your bit to make sure that you're still in it on Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly. I think we want to be there. The football club is now set up to be in this position, which is credit to everyone that's been around the football club. But we're playoff contenders. We're top of the table contenders now. With it, no disrespect to previous times, but the football club hasn't been there. It's not been a top end League Two side or promotion pushing side. That's what we've created here. So with that comes pressure. So we've got to deal with that. And then we've got to set out what we set out to do. We've got to set out to get our target of being up there.
Wish you the best, Matt.
Cheers, Rob.
See you tomorrow.
See you later.
Hey, Matt. In terms of it does do funny things, doesn't it? Pressure. If you can put it onto the other teams until you never know what position you'll be in come Port Vale, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think you've seen it kind of to a lot of teams, and it can sometimes work in your favour. Like you said, if we can put that pressure on, then we're on the ascendancy going towards them last kind of two games, last game. So we've got to use it to our advantage. Ultimately, we want to be in the playoffs. That is the target. I think if you probably asked us 6-7 weeks ago, we wanted to be within that top 3, but football adjusts, things adjust. So now we've got to make the best of the situation we can now, and that's to win the next 3 games.
when you do that, you'll have more points than you did last season as well, which is the strange thing. Even if you're outside, I guess that shows.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, the progression of football clubs now geared up to be a top end League Two. It's progressed. There's. I think it's very easy in the moment to kind of. Obviously, the disappointment is there. It's there for us. But if you take a step back, look, Rob's been at the football club. He's documented on us a long time. People have documented us a long time. We've progressed, especially on and off the pitch. So you've got to look at that as well.
On a personal front, how pleased were you with your performance, even though didn't get the result as a team on Monday coming back in?
Yeah, I was chuffed. Look, I think that's my job. I want to play football. I want to perform, and I know I can perform. I've been pretty consistent throughout my 200 odd games here. So I know what I am capable of, but obviously it is nice to get an accolade from the manager maybe afterwards. But ultimately, it doesn't matter how I perform. I honestly wouldn't mind kicking the ball out of play 50 times if we won 1-0 against Sutton. Do you know what I mean? I think it's one of them that's we're geared up now. We're winners. We're a winning dressing room, and we want to win the next. We want to win the next 3.
He's praised you, but do you still have those butterflies when he's naming his team to you all?
Look, I think the squad in there, everyone's going to have it. We've got a massively talented squad. We've got players who can make impacts in different ways. You play against a different team every week, play against a different setup every week. So the 11 that's picked is the 11 that's going to beat that setup or aim to beat that setup. And that's where the manager's very good at what he does. He's meticulous in what he does, and he's a very good manager that way on.
And we can talk about sort of 3 wins. It all starts with Colchester. What will you need to do well against them, do you think?
Well, look, they're going to be fighting. They're still down there as such. They'll still be looking backwards. So we know what their motivation is. We know what our motivation is, and ultimately we've got to go out there. It's Friday night, kind of under the lights, under the flamethrowers again. So we've got to put in a performance that warrants a win. We've got to win the football match. I think nobody needs any more motivation than that. I think ultimately we want to be in the playoffs. We want to be getting to Wembley. We want to be lifting the trophy at Wembley. That's what we want to do. So we make no bones about that. Obviously, we've got to deal with this situation we're in now where we're just outside the playoffs. But ultimately, we know what we need to do to give ourselves the best chance of getting in there.
Good stuff. Go well, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, Chris.